Hi everyone, hope you guys are all doing well. Just wanted to do a quick video here, just breaking down the numbers behind coin roll hunting. And the main reason why I wanted to do that is because over the years, since my brother and I have started coin roll hunting about 4 or 5 years ago, we always come across a number of articles or even comments to different articles or comments to YouTube videos, just kind of analyzing and looking at coin roll hunting and kind of asking the question on why do people coin roll hunt and hoard specific coins over others. And generally they look at it as a point of confusion, not even whether or not it makes sense economically or if you're going to try to make a profit down the line. Some articles just look at it and are just trying to analyze what's going on. So I just wanted to break down the numbers and basically just kind of make the argument that really all coin roll hunting is at the end of the day is Gresham's law, the theory of Gresham's law into practice. And just to start off, just to explain what Gresham's law is it's an economic principle that is named after Sir Thomas Gresham, who was an English financier in the Tudor dynasty. And I'm basically just reading this right off of Wikipedia, so if you want more information, you can just Google Gresham's law, and a bunch of great resources come up. But basically what Gresham's law states is that when a government overvalues one type of money and undervalues another, the undervalued money will leave the country or disappear from circulation into hoards, while the overvalued money will flood into circulation. And again, it's mainly stated a lot on different forums or on YouTube videos as bad money driving out good money. And that's basically all that coin roll hunting is here. And what I wanted to do is just kind of break down the numbers and just kind of specifically state just from its pure metal content and basically from the government changing the different types of money, the metal that's in the money, it's just kind of how that justifies coin roll hunting, at least to us. But to start off, what you guys see in front of you here is basically 3 generations of Canadian nickels. The first one on the left there, these are the pure nickel bullion nickels that my brother and we look for when we coin roll hunt, and these are the ones that we're primarily keeping. In front of there, it's a 1979 to the specific year, but all the nickels from 1955 to 1981, those are 4.54 grams, and their composition is 99.9% nickel. From 1982 to 1999, these are what we refer to as the cupro-nickel, and they're the same, actually they're not the same weight as the pure nickel bullion coins. They're a little bit heavier. They're 4.6 grams, and their composition is 75% copper and 25% nickel. So not too much of a devaluation in terms of metal content. There still is some nickel there and some copper. And the third generation of Canadian nickel, the year 2000 up until the present year, these are a pretty big devaluation in terms of metal content. Their mass is much lower than the previous two. The mass is 3.95 grams, and however, even more importantly, their composition is 94.5% steel, 3.5% copper, and then there's 2% nickel, and basically that's just the nickel plating. So starting off with those numbers here, if we were to look at it in terms of Gresham's law, good money versus bad, if we're looking at just the pure metal content in the nickels, we'll just get the number here. The pure 99.9% nickel is 75% more valuable than the 1982 to 1999 cupro-nickels. And again, it makes sense. It's mostly pure nickel, and again, the one from 1982 to 1999, those are 75% copper, 25% nickel. So not a huge increase in value when we go from those 2 generations of nickels. But if we look at the cupro-nickel, the 1982 to 1999, to the steel nickels that came after, the cupro-nickel is 652.08% more valuable than the steel nickels. And of course, that doesn't take into consideration the 99.9% nickel. So you can see just from these 1982 to 1999 nickels, it's a lot more valuable from a metal content perspective than the more recent steel nickels. So again, the big question is, okay, well, what's the increase in metal value from the pure 99.9% nickel nickels to the steel nickel? And when I ran the numbers, and all of my numbers were based off of the metal prices from a week ago, today is Sunday, March 22nd, the 99.9% nickel nickels are 1,216.67% more valuable than the modern steel nickels. So if we were looking at Gresham's law, bad money drives out good, that's basically what we're doing when we're coin roll hunting. When we look for these nickels and value them more than the modern steel nickels, what we're doing is we're looking for nickel that in its metal content is 1,216% more valuable than the modern steel nickels. So basically, looking at the number, it's quite drastic, and we never really worked in percentages before. But whenever we're coin roll hunting, it's basically just boiling down Gresham's law, and we're preferring the good money over the bad. We're hoarding the 99.9% pure nickel coins, and we're spending or putting into circulation the less valuable steel nickels, and also too the cupro-nickels as well. But also too, with the coin roll hunting, you have to look at it not just in the value over one coin from one coin to the other. You also have to look at it from the perspective of the value over and above its 5-cent face value. So basically what we'll do here is we'll also look at how much over or above these nickels are to its 5-cent face value when we're looking at just the metal value. So starting with the steel nickels, the modern ones, from the year 2000 to 2015 up into the present, based on just the metal content, the steel nickels are 90.4% in their metal value worth below their 5-cent face value. So when I ran the numbers, basically, if you're looking at the metal content, these modern steel nickels, they're only worth about ½ cent in metal value. So it makes sense too when looking at it from just a coin roll hunting perspective. You don't want to keep the steel nickels. They're worth a lot lower in their metal content when you put it up against their 5-cent face value. Also too, we might look at these 1982 to 1999 coins. I mean, there is 75% copper and 25% nickel there, but when you look at it in terms of its 5-cent face value, right now, based on the metal content and the metal prices, it's worth 27.8% lower than its 5-cent face value. So when coin roll hunting, it wouldn't make sense to, at least at the current prices, some people do keep these cupro-nickels, but for us, we wouldn't really value in terms of coin roll hunting, even though they are worth much more than the steel nickels when it comes to their metal content. It wouldn't make sense for us, at least, to also hoard the cupro-nickels here. They're worth 27.8% lower in metal content when putting it up against their 5-cent face value. However, when we look at the 1955 to 1981, the coins from those years, which again are 99.9% nickel, these ones are worth 26.4% over in metal content their 5-cent face value. When I did the numbers last week, a pure 99.9% nickel coin was worth 6.32 cents, which is 26.4% over its 5-cent face value. So basically what we're looking at here is when just breaking down the numbers, again, bad money drives out good. We don't want to keep the more modern coins, the 1982 to the present year coins, again, the steel or the cupro-nickels. Those ones are worth under the 5-cent face value. However, when we look back to the pure nickel coins from 1955 to 1981, for us, we're going to prefer those coins as their metal content is 26.4% over their 5-cent face value. And basically, at the end of the day, bad money drives out good. These lesser value coins is what we're using to try to get as many of these, again, termed good coins, again, more value because of their metal content. We want to try to hoard as many of those as we can. So basically, that's all that coin roll hunting is to us. It's just basically Gresham's law in practice. Again, I'll just state the economic principle behind Gresham's law. It's when a government overvalues one type of money and undervalues another, which again, too, these pure nickel coins, those are the overvalued types of money. The steel ones would be the undervalued one. Again, the undervalued money will leave the country or disappear from circulation into hoards, which is what we've been doing with coin roll hunting. We've been hoarding them, not really spending them into circulation because of their metal value, while the overvalued money will flood into circulation. So basically, coin roll hunting for us is just Gresham's law in practice, and anyone who's looking at coin roll hunting should, in my opinion, look at it from that perspective. Again, sometimes it's hard to see. I mean, Gresham's law isn't a well-known economic principle for people in general, so you can't really fault them for not really understanding coin roll hunting. But I hope this video helped to elucidate just Gresham's law and coin roll hunting at the same time. But thank you very much. I hope you guys found the video interesting. We're trying to make more videos these days, particularly geared towards coin roll hunting, and also some silver stacking if we could just find the time. But we are keeping up to date on all the other videos in the community. We always enjoy watching them. If you guys could like, comment, and subscribe, we always appreciate that as well. I may also do, if you guys enjoyed this video, I may do just the same breakdown for the numbers for the Canadian pennies and just kind of look at Gresham's law with copper penny hoarding. Let me know if you guys would enjoy that type of video. But thank you so much for watching as always, guys. Thank you for being patient with us over the last couple of weeks here with the videos. We always appreciate your kind comments and you guys staying patient with us. But that's it for now. Hope you guys have a great end of the weekend here, and I'll see you next video. Bye for now.